Welcome back to the Citizen channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. And the match report on Swindon Town 1, Manchester City 4. They did well to get one, didn't they? All credit to them. Well done. Energy Check County Ground. There you go. Not just the County Ground, Energy Check County Ground. And that was our first win in the FA Cup at their place. That's our fourth attempt. We've drawn one and lost two, guys. So there you go, a record broken at last. So that's made that look a little bit better. Took place on Friday the 7th of January. Kickoff was 8 p.m, of course. Please, I do monetize the channel now, so if you can help me out, obviously going forward for the channel, try and improve the channel going, in the future. If you can watch any of the ads or follow the links, etc., anything that interests you, of course, that'll be brilliant and will certainly help me out. Right, City lineup. Yeah, I only got 6 right, which is no surprise, but he did go strong, didn't he? I got a couple of key players right, but obviously I got Stefan right and Palmer right, which are a couple of interesting ones. But people like Walker, I wasn't aware of how he was coming back. Anyway, 6 considering the circumstances. I'll take that, guys. Stefan, Walker, Aki, Diaz, Cancelo, Roderick, Gundogan, Palmer, KDB, Jesus, and Bernardo. And the subs, yeah, this is where most of the kids were, which didn't surprise me. We know how Pep plays. There was no way he's going to put 5 or 6 kids in this team while there was first team players who needed time and were available. Subs: Carson, Slicker, Laporte, and that was about it as far as experience concerned. Laporte, wasn't it, really? Cakey, Bob, Egan Riley, and Betty, McAtee, and Lavia. And Mr. Darren England was in charge. I think he did okay last night. No real big problems. No VAR, of course. I thought Darren England. Let me know what you thought, guys. I thought it was okay. I didn't think there was any problem. Little match report, little summary of the game. Of course, we led at half-time comfortably 2-0. Anything can happen, obviously. It's always that situation at 2-0. Whoever scores the next goal usually would be very important, isn't it? But we had to be confident at half-time. A couple of half chances for Swindon. Possibly the best was from a poor ball out from Stefan, but the Swindon player couldn't beat him with it. His attempted chip, if you remember that one. I think there's one flashed across the air, but he couldn't get his head on it at the back. So that was about it, really. They did try to play out from the back, and that sort of was their downfall. It did work sometimes. And then we had a Cancelo rocket, didn't we? Just before half time, and I was up. I thought it was. Well, I wasn't up. I was cheerful. I thought it'd gone in the net. I actually wrote on my bit of paper 3-0. I think because I thought it'd gone in. I think some of the fans, even some of the players thought it'd gone in as well. It was obviously just wide in that top corner. Did you think it went in? I certainly did. Yeah, the 2 goals anyway that came on 14 minutes. Swindon made a mess of one of this playing out things. And eventually ends up on the right with Palmer. Although there was plenty of defenders in the box, Palmer sort of jinks one way and goes another and gets to the byline and obviously sees Bernardo, who's timed his run perfectly just for a tap-in. Absolutely brilliant by Palmer and excellent by Bernardo. 28 minutes, again, Swindon failed to play out properly, and actually the ball sort of rebounded off one of their players and stolen by Jesus. He managed to whip it in. A nice little ball to KDB, found the space, fed back again by KDB, and a nice side foot into the far corner. I think the keeper might have got a finger on it or two. Yeah, generally, I thought Aki was excellent that first half, very good at the back, and I thought Palmer and Jesus, I thought, were excellent up the field in that first half. So, yeah, 2-0, I thought, if we get another goal or two, we might see some of the kids. So, obviously, that was my little comment at half-time. It didn't all go all our way in the second half, of course. Another missed penalty. Having said that, I mean, he won the penalty, Jesus, didn't he? So, perhaps that's why he took it. I wouldn't have minded seeing Gundogan taking that, to be honest with you. Or was KDB on then at that time? I'm not too sure. But certainly Gundogan should have stepped up for that, I think. But obviously with Jesus winning the penalty, he was quite keen to take it. But please stop him doing that. A few half chances for City, some okay saves from the keeper, and some basic misses. To be honest with you, the goals on 59 minutes, and Gundogan superbly took advantage of a poorly placed wall, but he still had to find that gap. He still had to put it round the wall and into the goal. And he managed to do that quite comfortably. Then the missed penalty on 62 minutes, yeah. And then, obviously, that would have made it 4-0. I'm sure some of the more kids would have come on at that stage. But on 78 minutes, some poor play. I don't know who lost it. A City player lost it on the halfway line. We didn't quite do our little passing technique. And McCurdy ended up going through one-on-one. And I'm not going to blame Stefan totally, but I think he could have done a little bit better for it. And it was 3-1, and then he had a sort of free kick after that, didn't he? And he got all giddy, but that was perhaps the last real attempt at goal in the game. That McKiddie, whatever his goal, he actually scored 4 against Northampton last week as well. The 3-goal margin, of course, was re-established on 82 minutes. There's obviously a bit of work between Palmer and Bernardo. Yeah, Bernardo was shot, he got blocked, unfortunately rebounded to Palmer, who jinked slightly to his left and passed the ball really at fair speed right into the top corner past the keeper at the angle. So that was a great goal by Palmer. We did have time for another Rodri's rocket, which unfortunately again got hit the bar. I mean, it did get a slight touch off the keeper. If the keeper hadn't touched it, it might have still hit the bar, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was a great shot from Rodri. I think the commentator said it was Jesus who shot it. Obviously, it was Rodri. There's no difference between it. It's very easy to get them mixed up, isn't it? Let's be honest about it. So that was it. 4-1. The subs, 66 minutes, So he was actually on the pitch when we had the penalty, wasn't he? So, KDB or Gundogan could have took that. KDB off, McAtee on. It's 83 minutes, Lavia on, Gundogan off. 86 minutes, Mbete on, Aki off. And also Keiki on, Palmer off. And the key stats, shots 5 on 5 for them with 3 on target. Oh, I'll take that for Swindon. That's very good. 23 shots for us, 9 on target. So a couple better than we've been doing recently. We've not been getting that ratio up very much recently. On time, obviously, possession-wise, 78% for City. Pass completion, just 72% for Swindon, which is not surprising, and 92% for City. On the ratings, let's have a quick look at the player ratings. Stuart Brennan's in charge of the City ratings today, and I started my ratings at 6.5, so I've started at 6.5. They played better than that, they'll get more. If they played okay in the game, they'll get that, and if they played worse than that, they'll get a little bit less. Right, here we go. Stewart first, and then I'll just add my comments. Stefan Stewart said, almost handed Swindon a route back into the game with a miss-hit pass. He did to McCurdy, is it? McCurdy, that's it. But had little to do, So he's given a 6. I was disappointed. I thought he could have done a little bit better with the goal. I think it might be a bit unfair, but he didn't have his greatest night. I've been quite impressed with Stefan the last few times I've seen him, but I wasn't impressed at all last night. So Stewart's given him a 6. I've given him a 5.5. Kyle Walker, we differ on this one as well, interestingly enough. Very rusty, says Stewart, after a month's layoff, and that showed in his touch, passing and defending. He's only given him a 5. I think that's a bit harsh from Stewart, to be honest with you. I'll give him a 6.5. I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. Nothing special, but I don't know why Stuart Brennan's given him a 5. Anyway, I'll give him a 6.5, Kyle Walker. Ruben Diaz, Stewart said, in cruise control, that was enough to contain a willing but limited Robins attack. He's given a 7. I'll give him the standard 6.5. He's okay for me. But the guy next to him, I thought, was the best, was the senior of the two on the night. I think the other guy took more responsibility, we've got to talk about now. But I'll give a Diaz a 6.5. He was okay. And this is the guy we're going to talk about, Nathan Aki. Stewart said, had a couple of frantic moments. Possibly did, but so did Diaz. But nothing he couldn't deal with. Good run out in his regular role. So Stewart's give him a 7 out of 6. I give him a 7. I thought Aki was, of the defenders, I thought he was our key guy last night. I thought he was confident. He looked as though he was calm. He seemed to want the ball and take responsibility to bring it out around the back. So I was quite impressed with Aki last night. I give him a 7. Cancelo, Stewart said, didn't have to bust a gut to produce anything special. He didn't, and got a bit sloppy when City were in control. Yeah, he did. The thing is, against a team like Swindon, it is hard. I mean, it is hard to raise your game, and Cancelo probably struggled to do that, as some of the other players did as well. But sloppy when City were in control. Yeah, he's given him a 6. I didn't think it was that bad. I've given him a 6.5. I thought he could say, I thought he'd scored at one stage, so that would have been nice. So if that had gone in the net, I probably might have given another half a point or something like that. But it was not special. It was not special generally, but that was a cracking attempt, and such a shame it wasn't the right side of the stanchion or the post. Rodri, Stewart said, clamped down on the centre of the park early on and never let that dominance slip. Yeah, I wasn't overly as keen as Stewart. He's given us 7. I've given us 6.5 again, all okay. And that great rocket towards the end was fantastic. But he was very poor for a booking, if you think. Remember that we just pushed the player. That's not the Fernando way. That's not the Fernandinho way. There's another player. There's another guy, isn't it, Fernando? That's not the Fernandinho way. I was a bit disappointed with that, to be honest. I think it's pathetic. I thought it was a bit pathetic, to be honest with you. So, as I say, he did his rocket to make up a little bit. So I will give him the standard 6.5. But again, I don't think anything fantastic. Ilkay Gundogan, Stewart said, fabulous free kick technique for the third goal, and his usual intelligent game was at the heart of a comfortable win. Yeah, Stewart's given a 7. I'll give him a 7.5. I thought he did all the unexciting stuff, all the basic stuff, and all the. The wall was right for that free kick. The wall was wrong for that free kick. He still had to find that space, and he still has to find that gap. So fantastic. So I'll give him credit for that. And I'm not too sure why I didn't take responsibility for the penalty as well. I would have took it off Jesus and took it myself. But I think going forward, obviously with no Mahrez, I don't want to see Jesus anywhere near that penalty for penalties. Kevin De Bruyne, Stewart says, simple assist, he was gifted the ball, but he cruised through the rest of the game. If in third gear, it was enough. Yeah, it was. Again, as I said, based on the opposition, he was okay there. Stewart's given him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. Always an outlet and another 90 minutes, so that's fantastic. Bernardo Silva, Stewart said, simple finish for him, and he was able to curb his usual insatiable work rate and still dominate the final third. Yeah, I agree. I think he changed his tactically. I think he moved a bit deeper, didn't he? Stewart's given him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7 as well. He did start up top. He could have had 3 goals, couldn't he? Very quickly. There's a couple that he could have perhaps done a little bit better with, apart from the goal he scored. And then he did drop deep to become a bit more of a ball carrier. So I give him a 7. Said it's a shame. He could have at least had a couple of goals, if not 3 goals, to be honest with you. Gabby Jesus, sneak finish for the second goal, Stewart said, but his penalty was absolutely woeful after he won the spot kick. Yeah, he did that. So Stewart give him a 7. I'm going to give him 7.5 because he was actually very, very good. I thought he was excellent in that first half. It's a shame about the penalty. If he hadn't made a mess of that, he'd probably be vying for City's man of the match for me. I thought it was really very good last night. I thought it did a lot right, but please just stop giving him penalties to take. And we go on to the last guy who actually started the game, Cole Palmer. Stewart said, wonderful skills to create the opening goal, and an attractive display was capped by the best goal of the night. It certainly was. So Stewart's given him an 8. I'm going to give him an 8.5. I thought it was excellent last night. Not everything came up, but it was a constant threat to Swindon. It was topped off by a superb goal, so I will give him 8.5 out of 10. The guys coming on as subs, I've not marked any of them. None of them were on longer than 20-odd minutes. James McAtee for De Bruyne. A couple of nice moments, says Stewart. He gave him a 7. So I didn't mark him. I didn't notice anything special. And obviously Lavia and Betty and Kate get too little time to mark. And my man of the match, let me know your man of the match, guys. My man of the match, I think I did put it out on Twitter last night. It's got to be Cole Palmer. Very, very impressed with Cole Palmer. As I said, I had Aki, Cole Palmer, and Jesus as my 3 main guys, but obviously I think Cole Palmer just about deserves that, to be honest with you, last night. Yeah, the opponents going forward, Swindon, yeah, they do try and play football and entertain. They were out 2 or 3 key players last night, so that wasn't their main goalie, that was his second choice goalkeeper. It did okay, not brilliant. It made some okay saves, made a couple of errors, but yeah, so I do assume they'd normally play out from the back perhaps a bit better with the regular keeper, as I say. I know they do try and do that. They do try and play football. They do try and entertain. And they've got a reputation for that in Division 2. Obviously, Forest Green are doing very well, and they're a few points clear at the top. So if they keep up that, they're sort of more or less guaranteed to win this second division. But I think automatic promotion is not beyond. That's this Swindon team we saw last night. I say it's hard to gauge against a team of City's quality, obviously. But even at worst, they're going to make the playoffs, so that won't be too bad for them. It's nice for them to get a goal as well, wasn't it? It's nice for them and the fans and all of. Someone was on about the fans booing, young players and stuff, and that's football. I'm not too worried about that. That's I think at one time Cole Palmer was Cole Palmer was called a WANKER, wasn't he? You know what, we do that to other players at our ground, so I'm not going to pick on Swindon for doing it. Whether, you know, they thought he dived for something, dive for a penalty, I think, in the first half. But that's football. It's not going to get wound up over anything like that. But it's nice for him to get a goal. And 3 yellow cards, and they're all City players. So yeah, they didn't kick. You know, at the end of the day, it's you think second division clubs they start kicking us, but no, it was physical. But I thought they played it in a fair and decent way. To be honest with you, and I thought that was excellent. So all good luck to them as far as the football team's concerned. I hope they do get a promotion, and they should be very proud of the game they played last night. And us going forward, well, not much to say really, was it? It was a strong team. It was generally pretty comfortable. The goal was all right for my charity bets, guys. I had both teams to score, so I was quite happy with that. So but the goal, a bit soft. We did make the error, but a great, well taken goal by that lad. He obviously, I think he's a bit old to sign on for City as a striker, but yeah, he got 4 last week, so he's quite happy that. It was nice to see him celebrate. Nice to see the fans celebrate as well. As long as they did have a little free kick, didn't they? I thought, oh God, don't go 3-2. I'll start to panic. Shouldn't be panicking against Swindon, should I? Let's be honest about it. So yeah, we were pretty comfortable. A bit disappointing to let the goal in. Players got minutes like Walker, who's not been playing regular, of course, so that'll help him. And obviously Palmer reminded Pep and us all that what a great talent he is. As I say, the thing with Palmer, the further he plays up, the better for me, because he can lose it at times. So you've got to be willing for City to lose the ball sometimes, which obviously Pep doesn't like to happen. But obviously, if you're going to play someone like Palmer, it's going to happen. And obviously, as he gains experience, it'll happen less and less. So there you go, Mr. Palmer. Got a great chance last night, and it was job done onto the 4th round. And obviously the draw's in a couple of days. Let's see who we're getting that. We'll probably get Arsenal away. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Anyway, there'll be a couple of programme watches, and there's going to be a magazine vlog next week as well on the community side, I think, about little things, losing business, that sort of thing. So I'll be up doing one of them the next few days. There'll be a couple of programme watches as well being done. There may be the odd history thing thrown in as well. But obviously next week, join me as we look forward to the Chelsea game. Yeah, I've already done the history feature on that one, so that'll be going out next week as well. So what year was that? That goes back to 1979, that one. So please, I enjoyed doing that one as well. It was so please check out the History Boys feature for the Chelsea game next week, and of course check out my preview and the odds show as well, which will be available all next week, as long as lots of other stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. Give us a little thumbs up if you're still with me. That'll be absolutely brilliant. And hope you enjoyed the game last night. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know your man of the match and any player ratings if you want to leave them as well. That'll be brilliant. Thanks for joining me today, guys. What we're going to do rest day. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. We'll meet here again on the Citizen channel. I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.